The goal of using compassionate communication is to create a safe space for expressing feelings, for needs to be understood and met, and to build connection and rapport. So here are some rules for compassionate communication. Number one, take responsibility for how you feel. Use words like because I. Number two, listen and show empathy. Number three, observe without evaluation. Number four, make requests, not demands. And number five, reframe the message. So first of all, take responsibility for how you feel. No matter what you're feeling, those are your feelings, so own them. No one can make you feel anything unless you give them permission by agreeing with them. So in expressing your feelings, whether you're happy, sad, angry, upset, hurt, or anything else, take responsibility by saying, because I. For example, I'm feeling anxious right now because I've been hurt in the past, and those fears of getting hurt again are coming back, and it scares me. Or, I'm feeling really good today because I got up early and exercised. Or, I'm feeling frustrated because I don't feel like I'm being heard or understood. Listen and show empathy. When you're struggling, what you need is an ally, not an adversary. When we don't really understand why we feel the way that we do, when we don't know how to ask for what we need, and when we feel like we're not being understood, what we instinctively will do is try to make the other person feel the way that we feel. We will try to make them feel our pain so that we feel understood and get attention. Understanding this allows us to not take things personally and get defensive when our partner is struggling and when we feel like we're being attacked, criticized, or ignored. The goal should be to try to build connection or rapport by listening and empathizing with them. So three of the best ways I found to do this is by mirroring their emotions, facial expressions, and body language, and then by asking the right questions, and then by validating their feelings. So learn to observe without evaluating or judging. It's programmed into us to evaluate, to judge, and to have an opinion about everything that we experience. We're constantly comparing one thing to another to determine fairness, likes, and dislikes. Judging or evaluating feels good because it gives relevance to our feelings, whereas feeling judged or evaluated usually doesn't feel good because people are quick to give negative feedback and are much slower to give praise or positive reinforcement. We're not content to simply observe and be objective, but that is precisely what we need to practice if we want to create an emotionally safe relationship and encourage vulnerability, trust, and honesty. So instead of saying things like, why would you do that? You should have done it this way. Try saying it like this. Could you help me understand what you were trying to accomplish by doing it that way? Another example might be, you don't really care about me. You never spend time with me. How about reframing it and try saying, I miss you and would really love to spend more time connecting with you. Being able to observe without evaluation is actually a sign of emotional maturity and compassion for others. So learn how to make requests, not demands. When you first started dating your partner, did you demand they go on a date with you or punish them when you didn't get the response that you wanted? Of course not, because you wouldn't be together now if you had. Chances are you were respectful, patient, considerate, and polite. You asked permission or consent, and you were understanding and forgiving. So what's the difference between a request and a demand? And how do you know if you're making a demand? A request is when you are showing respect for the other person's choices, freedom, rights, and feelings. A demand is when you are not giving them a choice. You're giving them an ultimatum that includes some form of punishment. So how do you know when a request is really a demand? When you punish them for not complying with your wishes. Demands and commands are acts of fear, control, and manipulation, not love. Requests show respect and create trust, cooperation, and fairness. So that brings me to the final point, reframe the message. When you learn how to reframe the language that you're using to communicate your feelings, and then you're able to be heard and understood more easily without causing conflict, then you know you're doing the right thing. Saying something like, "You lied to me. How could you do that? You really hurt me." Those might be your genuine feelings, but what message are you really sending to them? Well, does a good person lie and hurt people? No. So who does? Well, a bad person. So the message is, you're a bad person that can't be trusted, so you're not deserving of love or acceptance. So a better way to express those types of feelings might be, I really want you to be open and honest with me, because I need to be able to trust what you're telling me so I can feel safe, and so I'm not struggling with hurt feelings and fear right now. Or you might try saying, the story that I'm telling myself right now is that you're not telling me the whole truth. I know that you love me, but I need reassurance and for you to help me understand what happened so we can work together through this. So in conclusion, being good at reframing your message is like being a chef. You're skilled at seasoning your words to making them more palatable, pleasant, and easily digested. So I hope you've enjoyed these tips on compassionate communication, and I hope you're able to use them and see the great effects that they can have in your relationship.